They can laugh at us. They can laugh at Americans who believe the law applies to everyone. They can laugh at Americans who believe in truth and justice. But you cannot laugh at Lady Justice. For the longest time, many of us were convinced there was a two-tiered system of justice, where who you were and not what you did was the deciding factor in whether or not you were made to account for your actions. As I crisscrossed this country promoting radicals' resistance and revenge to the left's plot to remake America, there was one overriding question. When will someone be charged with a crime for the actions we have watched play out in Washington, D.C. at the highest echelons of power? I would try to reassure them, but more often myself, that justice would be coming and that I had not wasted 30 years fighting for that equal justice to only find out in the end that the system was rigged. So now, news that the first to fall will be Jim Comey's deputy director of the FBI and then acting director of the FBI for lying to both the Inspector General's investigators as well as the FBI investigators, not once, not twice, but 3 times under oath. He lied to make himself look better, but he was even given the opportunity to recant his statement, something 3-star General Michael Flynn was not. Andrew McCabe knew full well that he was a target of the Inspector General and the FBI, and thus he was on his guard, something Michael Flynn was not.
Something I probably wouldn't have done or maybe gotten away with in a more organized investigation, a more organized administration, in the George W. Bush administration, for example, or the Obama administration. And in both of those administrations, there was process. And so if the FBI wanted to send agents into the White House itself to interview a senior official, you would work through the White House counsel, and there'd be discussions and approvals and who would be there. And I thought, it's early enough, let's just send a couple guys over.
Cardinal Comey, you're so proud of yourself. Are you proud that you violated White House protocol as well as Flynn's constitutional rights, telling him he didn't need a lawyer? Flynn, a man who spent 30 years of his life defending this country, even though FBI agents themselves didn't think Flynn was intentionally misstating the facts. You know, I've long said that Bill Barr is a serious guy. He is a no-nonsense straight shooter who could give a damn about what people say or think about him. He's not looking to be famous or for his next advancement. He's good with who he is. So now the Department of Justice has refused Andrew McCabe's pleas to not be indicted. The grand jury hearing evidence against him is now being recalled after an extremely long delay. So what happened during that delay? Calendar-wise, Christopher Steele, the man who is so central to this coup, spoke to the FBI. It appears more witnesses are now willing to talk. And just as I predicted in my book, the rats are jumping ship. Who will rat on whom? Who will point the finger and when? McCabe's indictment will be the first of many in the attempted overthrow of a president, and you will remember it was Andrew McCabe who began the counterintelligence investigation against our president regarding that old fake Russia collusion. An investigation of someone at the FBI is the kind of thing we don't hear about very often because that agency is one that is grounded in its motto of fidelity, bravery, and integrity. And it took someone like James Comey, Andrew McCabe, and their cabal that Bill Barr noted unusually handled an investigation at the upper echelon that would normally be handled in field offices to make it clear that he thought something was wrong. And for those of you who say what McCabe did was not such a big deal, I would ask, how many times did Andrew McCabe recommend prosecution in his official capacity, not being swayed by the "it's not a big deal" argument? You know, Lady Justice is blindfolded for a reason. The symbolism is clear. The law and its consequences must be delivered equally, without fear or favor. Lady Justice doesn't care about party affiliation, color, or gender. She cares about corruption. She cares about law and order. And when people at the highest level of government choose to change the rules, violate the law, leak information, unmask innocents, and seek warrants based upon unverified political opposition papers, Lady Justice will see through her blindfolds. Because America simply cannot afford to forget crimes that are a blueprint to frame a president of the United States. You know, those who use power as a weapon because they hate the outsider president need to feel the justice that they tried to impose upon an innocent man for their own selfish purposes. The Comey crew in the upper echelon of the FBI worked to prevent Donald Trump from gaining the presidency. And once he succeeded, despite their efforts, they worked tirelessly in a conspiracy to try to get him impeached. They can laugh at us. They can laugh at Americans who believe the law applies to everyone. They can laugh at Americans who believe in truth and justice. And they can laugh at the forgotten Americans who put the outsider president, beholden to no one but us, in the Oval Office. But you cannot laugh at Lady Justice.